Like, I could just put on a wolf costume for free for them. What are they doing? What do they want? Millions of dollars? No, I'll do it for free. Hello, today we are reacting to more Parz, so I bought more Parz. Hello, hello. My tail is wagging too much. Stop. Stop, tail. Stop. Yeah, I'm not cute anymore. I'm not cute anymore. I'm not cute anymore. No.
A 600 kilo absolute unit of a southern elephant seal from my home state of Tasmania in the land down under, who is known for, above all else, being an absolute fucking menace to polite society. But despite his crimes, we all still truly love him. But what are his crimes? Well, see, he seems to just fucking hate traffic cones and road safety in general, has regularly been caught trespassing, and then once he has been caught trespassing, belligerently screaming at locals because they won't give him his fucking fish, and has been known to just block roads by plopping his fat ass down directly in the middle of them. However, hands down, the funniest shit he has ever done was just straight stopping this random lady from going to work. I shit you not. This motherfucker crawled out of the ocean, up the beach, crossed the road, absolutely fucking bodied this woman's poor letterbox, and then proceeded to plant himself directly in front of her fucking car. She was then unable to go to work because this half-ton beefcake was camping her driveway for so damn long.
Oh my god.
Local news had time to drive out to her house and cover the fucking story.
We have to see that again. We have to see that again. Oh my god, boss, I can't come in. There's a seal. I can't come in. I can't come in because of this seal, boss. Sorry. No, I'm sick. Nope, seal.
Beefcake was camping her driveway for so damn long. Local news had time to drive out to her house and cover the fucking story. Now, this is a lot of menace for a single seal to cause, but the funniest part of this is, old mate isn't even fully grown. He's like 5 years old. If you think he can fuck things up now, wait until he's nearly 2 solid-ass tons of blubber and takes issue with the wall of your house. I do not think that seal damage is covered on my fucking insurance plan, dude. People get shocked when I whip out like a flawless American accent, because I've got like a really thick Australian one, right? But I am not above just... Dude, I can't wait to go get like burgers later, man. I'm like so hyped for burgers, dude. I fucking love cheeseburgers. Dude, you been watching the NFL? Super Bowl was crazy this year, man. Eagles just like fucking dumpstered the Chiefs, bro.
That's true.
It was crazy.
Add bro instantly American. Bro and F you.
Asked huntsman that used to live in my house, and I'm gonna be honest, dude, I kind of just let him hang out.
He ain't small. I'll tell you that much. There's a huntsman.
My fear that it would jump on me.
I was quite happy to let him just chill, because I never saw a mosquito or a fly in that house. So he was paying rent in his own way, you know?
Why would you do that? Why would you do that?
Scientists just de-extincted a 12,000-year-old dog. Well, kinda. You see, a bioengineering company called Colossal has dedicated itself to doing what every single Jurassic Park film has told us is a bad idea. Bringing back extinct species. And recently, they made a breakthrough. They have managed to bring back the 12,000-year-old direwolf. You know those big-ass puppies from Game of Thrones that the Starks had? Yeah, those were actually a real-ass animal, alive during the late Ice Age. And the best way I can describe them to you is, basically a wolf on steroids. Yeah, buddy! These things were bigger, faster, and stronger, estimated to have the highest bite force out of any canine. And in a move that I'm sure has no implications, they have managed to bring these bad boys back to life. These two little guys are now
Wait,
6
for real?
months old and have been living on a private plot of land with 24/7 veterinary care. However, they've only just been shown off to the public, with the company going so far as to get a photo op with George R.R. Martin holding one of these
So
adorable little killing machines, showing that man will literally interact with an extinct species before he finishes that last f***ing book. There is, however, one small problem. This isn't technically a direwolf. You see, by merit of them being extinct, short of specking into necromancy, you can't exactly bring them back. Which is where this guy comes in. You see, the grey wolf shares 99.5% of its genetic code with the direwolf. So, using CRISPR gene editing, they basically toss the grey wolf back into the spore creator, then using the code found in direwolf fossils as a build guide, juiced the f*** out of it, boosting the size slider and putting some extra points into strength, as well as adjusting its head shape and teeth. All in all, they made a total of 20 edits to 14 genes, producing the closest thing we can get to a direwolf short of time travel. Which is cool as f***. I give it 5 years before a man-made horror beyond comprehension breaks out of that f***ing lab and we are all playing Resident Evil.
A funny, cool thing about CRISPR genes and like slicing for genetic modifications like this, they did that with that one sheep that was cloned too, but like you have to be careful with this because most of the time they don't end up living that long because they haven't gone through the evolutionary change, so they just keep making more and more and editing more and more, and it's really, really, really expensive. Like, I could just put on a wolf costume for free for them. What are they doing? What are they doing? What, they want millions of dollars? No, I'll do it for free. Leon mentioned also.
This bear was actually a soldier. But how? You see, it was 1942, and the 22nd Polish Artillery Company were passing through the mountains of Iran on their way to the front lines to fight the Nazis. While passing through a town on their way, they were stopped by a young Iranian shepherd looking to trade with them for rations and a Swiss Army knife. When the Poles asked what he had to offer in return, the young shepherd produced a burlap sack containing an orphaned Syrian brown bear cub. You see, this bear's mother was shot by hunters, which is how he ended up in a low-tech Pokeball being offered as a trade deal. The Polish looked at the bear and, clearly seeing the potential for insane dad lore, said, "Damn good deal." And in the most worthwhile trade deal in history, parted ways with their supplies in exchange for a f***ing Pokemon, adopting him into their ranks and naming him Wojtek. And the 22nd immediately set about raising this little man as a proper bear and soldier. Maggots! As a baby, they would feed him condensed milk out of an empty vodka bottle, as well as feeding him on the cartoon bear diet consisting of fruit, honey, and marmalade. They also appointed a soldier as his caretaker who wasted no time in showing Wojtek how to fit in with the rest of the army, teaching Yogi's little cousin to wave, salute, and even march. While not undergoing rigorous military training, Wojtek would hang out with the soldiers. He drank coffee with them in the morning, trained with them in the day, and when they all got shit-faced in the evening, he would f***ing wrestle with them. Do you know how much a brown bear has to love you to wrestle you? On top of double rations, they would also feed Wojtek treats in the form of beer and cigarettes. They let the bear have smoko.
Bear is living the life.
Eventually, Army High Command heard about this and were having absolutely none of it. You see, pets were not allowed in the army, which meant Wojtek had to go. Or did he? Because the 22nd Artillery Company officially enlisted him.
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part. I'm doing my part.
Wojtek was given a serial number and granted the rank of private, so when confronted about the very conspicuous bear in their ranks, they simply went, "That's not a bear, that's Private Wojtek."
That's right.
And Wojtek took his new role very seriously, as during the Battle of Monte Cassino in 1944, Wojtek began using his bulk to transport artillery shells and ammo to soldiers engaged in combat.
No way.
They had a fucking resupply bear. For his bravery, he was promoted to the rank of corporal, and the 22nd changed their insignia to a bear carrying an artillery shell. This absolute unit smoked, drank, and dropped artillery on the Nazis. Based
I want to know why every time humans assimilate like animals, we get them drunk. It reminds me of one time where I used to work in a research lab, and the head researcher there was telling me about how back in the days, like after you're done with your trial on primates, like you didn't have anywhere to like anything to do with them, so some of them would take them home. And this guy had a chimpanzee for a long time, and the chimpanzee would also smoke and drink. Like, just sharing the feeling we are social creatures. Yes. Bears they isolate themselves, but they're very social. They just stay with their own pack. So, it's super cute that Warcheck was able to feel like they were family. Bears are very food motivated too, so that's it.
Who wins? 100 men or one gorilla? Well, to get your answer, we're going to have to look at our fighters for the most anticipated cage match of 2025. And in the red corner, standing at an impressive 6 feet tall and weighing a ridiculous 220 kilos, we have one singular silverback gorilla. Stepping into the ring to settle the score against humanity for what we did to Harambe, this fighter is bringing some impressive physical strength, capable of lifting up to 800 kilos of weight.
God.
Meaning that if it gets its hands on you, a gorilla is more than capable of picking you up and doing you the same way that Hulk did Loki. Now, on top of being stronger than Eddie Hall, they also have an unreal reach advantage with a 2.6 meter wingspan, which is a fairly major problem because a right hook from a gorilla produces 2,700 pounds of force.
Oh my
to put that
God,
into perspective,
that's
the
scary.
human skull shatters at 1,400. So if Winston hits you with a haymaker, your head is going to pop like a watermelon. And with the cage fight following the Mortal Kombat rule set, we can also factor in the gorilla's bite. Because despite being a pretty gentle herbivore in the wild, they have one of the highest bite forces on the planet at 1,300 PSI.
Oh my god.
That is 100 PSI more than a polar bear. And now, with our fighter statistics out of the way, let's get down to business. Can our gorilla win a fight against the 100 average men in the blue corner? Place your bets. Let's see who comes out on top. Yeah, look, I'm going to keep it real with you. Even with those stats, Winston here is getting bodied. I'm sorry, he's going back to the spawn room. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Directly to hanging out with Harambe in heaven. 100 people, it's just too fucking many. He's getting jumped.
I feel like he would get
However,
overwhelmed.
not to say he's not going to take a few
He'll
with
be
him.
scared.
My guess is one guy runs up and gets swatted across the cage like a toddler, shatters his ribs against the bars. Second guy gets grabbed by the leg and given the Hulk treatment. About 6 other guys cop swings to the head and die instantly from broken necks. One dumbass is probably going to try to hit him off the top rope and get done the same way that Omni-Man did Nightwing. But at that point, the crowd probably jumps in and realizes that there are still about 90 of them and it's over. Not that the fight even needs to happen, but it wouldn't be the first time we lost a gorilla to human stupidity.
Okay, real question real quick. Oni versus 100 men. Who's winning, guys? Who's winning? Who's winning? If you're watching the video, in the comments, put if you think Oni is winning or 100 men. I think I'm winning. I'm winning. You see these paws? These are for boxing. I'm winning. I'm winning for sure. I'm winning.
This is the deadliest snake in the world. Introducing the inland taipan, and being the deadliest venom noodle in the world, I will give you exactly one guess as to where it's found. It's Australia, of course it's fucking Australia. Be so serious here. Where the else did you think you were going to find it? Canada? More specifically, as the name suggests, the taipan is found inland in the outback. Luckily, extreme...
Wait, it's Australia. actually the land of the rot. Oh my god, it makes sense. They got oversized everything. Oh my god, do they have giant rats there, guys? I'm scared. The dogs. Oh my god, the dogs.
Far from civilization, because this homicidal hospital hose is the definition of size doesn't matter, because despite having extremely small fangs for a venomous snake, coming in at only 6.2 millimeters, the Tapin is here to show you that you absolutely can feel less than an inch, because those fangs contain the statistically deadliest snake venom on the fucking planet.
Oh.
Yeah, Tapin venom is a pina colada of pain, containing, but not limited to, hemotoxins to cause blood clots, myotoxins for paralysis and necrosis, nephrotoxins to shut down your kidneys, and 3 different kinds of neurotoxin.
Why do they
Needless
need
to
all
say, if it
that?
bites you, you will get a headache, vomit up the entire contents of your stomach, collapse to the ground in agonizing pain, and then your heart and lungs will stop, sending you to meet God in under 15 minutes.
Is there an anti-venom?
And that venom is so fucking potent that one bite contains enough toxin to do that to 100 people. But the funniest part of this snake's venom is that in the wild, they only hunt rats and fucking mice.
Why
The
do they need that
deadliest
much
venom on the
venom?
planet, and they are using it to pack up Remy the rat. It's like hunting a rabbit with a fucking orc.
That's the
Well,
cutest f***ing thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
it makes sense if Australia is Kayla, those those snakes gonna, the rats are they're buffing up. They're buffing up.
Dolphins get drunk. But why? Well, you see, the dolphin is by far and away the smartest animal in the ocean. In fact, they're actually the second smartest thing on the planet, just behind you and me. This means they are smart enough to understand that the ideal way to spend your night is more plastered than Chad and Max on your average Cold Ones episode. Shut up! There is just one problem. Last I checked, there's no bottle-o in Bikini Bottom. So how does a dolphin get
Yeah, how are
fucked
they
for
getting drunk?
full? Simple.
Shots of vodka.
They abuse pufferfish. You see, due to the lack of underwater alcohol, dolphins need to find other ways to get their fix,
Are
which
they
is where
drinking piss
SpongeBob's driving
booze?
instructor comes in. You see, pufferfish contain this really cool and totally not dangerous substance called tetrodotoxin. What is tetrodotoxin? You know, it's only one of the most potent natural neurotoxins on the fucking planet. This shit will freeze your heart and lungs in under an hour with a tiny dose, and it's the reason why cooking a pufferfish requires a dexterity check so you don't,
Oh,
you know,
yeah,
hit the
it's really
poison gland and
dangerous.
get yourself deleted. Now, puffers carry this as a defense mechanism as poison accumulates in their organs and skin. Why is that important? Well, you see, I kind of lied. Dolphins don't get drunk. They get high on neurotoxin.
¿Quieres?
Pods of dolphins will bully pufferfish until they inflate, then partake in a literal puff-puff pass. By lightly squeezing the puffer in their mouth, they receive a small dose of neurotoxin, which has a narcotic effect, allowing Flipper here to trip balls before passing
See,
the
it kinda
unhappy
is like
basketball
piss
onto the next
balls.
submarine stoner. Flipper and friends saw the deadliest
Why does
neurotoxin
it look
on
like
the
the five
planet.
guys on the couch
I
meme?
said, "Fuck it, let me try some of that." This isn't a spider. It's a snake.
Oh.
Introducing the Iranian spider-tailed horned viper. As the name suggests, native
Oh
to
my God, that
Iran.
looks like a
And you are all
dragon.
probably wondering why the f this snake has decided to attach a cosplay of the average Australian resident to his tail. The answer is food. You see, every known snake species is a predator. Some eat Bambi, others eat Remy, and the spider tail, not unlike myself, absolutely fucking loves KFC. However, birds famously tend to fly, and last I checked, nope, ropes don't have wings. So, how does this viper get his zinger box? The answer is again, food. You see, birds eat insects, and the spider tail knows this. So rather than trying to chase his prey down, this lazy fucker has evolved the evolutionary equivalent of DoorDash. You see, when a viper feels like a meal, it'll start the hunt by finding a nice rocky outcrop to curl up on
so
like
well
a couch.
with the rocks.
And due to the camouflage on his scales, this snake becomes practically invisible. Once he's nice and cozy, he begins to slowly wiggle his tail back and forth in front of his face.
Ooh, wait, that
perfectly
actually
mimicking the
looks...
motion of an insect.
Oh,
Think of this as
wait,
him
that actually
placing
looks
his
like
Uber Eats order.
one.
Meanwhile, up in the air, our undercooked chicken tender is flying around when, holy shit, a free meal! What a delectable bug just sitting there on that rock. And so, Tweety Birdie swoops down
did
to
they
grab
know
himself
to
an insect
wiggle it
happy
like
meal.
that?
And just as he's about to reach his meal,
I need one of those on my tail.
this spider can remove your limbs. But how? Introducing the brown recluse, native to the United States of America, and a prime example
I've
of don't
actually
judge a
seen
book
one of
by
these
its
in
cover.
real life.
Because
I
despite only
almost
coming
peed
in at a
myself.
huge 2 centimeters in length and rocking the spider equivalent of default character customization, this little is a level 500 rot build that gives Melania a run for her money. You see, a bite from a recluse starts in the most American way possible, with you accidentally stepping foot onto his private property, causing him to exercise his Second Amendment rights. But considering a spider can't really hold a gun, he's gonna settle on biting your ass.
So this is
Now,
my
that initial
house.
bite's pretty painless. You smack him away, all's well. There is just one small problem. Congratulations, you are now the proud owner of necrotic venom coursing through your veins, which at first does nothing. You walk back to your house, the bite starts to sting a little more. You feel sick. The wound swells, and the blood vessels around the bite burst, turning it a deep red. Over the
I
next
hate
few
these
days,
spiders
that
so
colour shifts
much.
from red to purple to black, as the venom literally destroys and kills the surrounding tissue in a process called necrosis. This causes the skin to literally rot and fall off of your body. And if you don't catch it in time, that rot's gonna spread. If you're lucky, it'll only make you violently ill and leave permanent scarring. If
my
you're
gosh.
unlucky, it just keeps spreading,
Yeah, it spreads really...
and venom starts to destroy your blood cells
Really
and shut
fast,
your organs down.
necrosis.
Now, there's kind of only one solution to that, but you weren't using that arm anyway, right?
Yeah, I've seen a bunch of them.
Australia
I've actually handled one before. Back in the day when Oni wanted to work with animals, and I was at the zoo, and you fill out a form that says, what are your biggest fears? Where would you want to work? I put, I'm afraid of insects. They made me an insect keeper. Until I accidentally freaked out, so that I felt bad. I freaked out in the butterfly enclosure. Hello, Yoshi. Yeah, so like I could probably explain it, like how they do it, because like I've seen it done at my job sometimes, but like, or my old job, but like it's pretty invasive, like, because with necrosis it spreads from cell to cell. And when you think about your what you call it, your skins are a bunch of like flat puzzle pieces that are interlocked with each other. So that's why things like necrosis and like melanoma spread super fast. But anyway, that's boring. But if you catch it fast enough, you're fine. Same with deer tick bites and Lyme's disease. Those are things you have to like watch out for them. So if you know you got bit by a spider and you don't know what spider, just go to the doctor and check it out. But we're in America and healthcare sucks, so just go to your local urgent care.
As a straight up Pokemon. Introducing the brush-tailed possum, more specifically,
I
the
love
golden brush-tailed
possums!
possum. Native to the land down under, and one of the rare examples of an Australian animal that isn't expressly designed to DoorDash you straight to heaven. You see, the brushtail is one of a grand total of 23 species of Australian possum, which, despite the name, share absolutely no relation to the red-blooded American opossum. These adorable little marsupials come in all shapes and sizes, from the ringtail possum to the sugar glider, and
Wait,
to our
sugar
protagonist
gliders?
here, the golden brushtail, which is really just a common brushtail possum with a rare genetic mutation called leucism that causes them to lose the pigment in their skin. So, basically, it's a fucking shiny Pokemon. Coming in at around 4.5 kilos and 40 centimeters in length, these tree-dwelling marsupials are nocturnal and primarily herbivores, mainly consisting on a diet of leaves and fruit. And for added cute points, as marsupials, yes, they carry around their babies in a little pouch like their roided out cousin the kangaroo. However, come on, the thing is from Australia, you didn't really think these bad boys would be squeaky clean, did ya? You
Oh,
see,
no.
they aren't entirely herbivores. Sure, they love a good salad. They will also quite happily raid a bird's nest and turn Tweety's kids into a 3-egg omelette.
eat
Roadkill?
birds.
Sounds like a fine steak dinner to me.
And just because it's
Well, they
not
are
a
possums,
venomous
right?
predator doesn't mean it can't take your fucking finger off. And the cherry on top, Aussie Pikachu here doesn't go Pika Pika. No, you see, Down Under doesn't have Pokemon trainers, because when you step into the
love how
tall
they're
grass out
pressing
here,
boots.
you hear this absolute fucking demon.
Hey, I'm learning how to scream from them. That was
Australia doesn't just have snakes and spiders, it has a tiger. Well,
really?
kinda. Introducing the thylacine, better known as the Tassie tiger. As the name suggests, native to my home state of Tasmania, this tiny little island off Australia's south coast. No, that is not New Zealand. They have hobbits, not tigers. Oh, tiger isn't entirely correct. You see, the thylacine isn't a cat on steroids. You see, this bad boy is the largest carnivorous marsupial on the planet.
A
Despite the
marsupial?
kangaroo coming in at 7 foot tall and throwing kicks like Chun-Li, they are
Wait.
herbivores, and everything else with a pouch that
The
eats meat is
kangaroo
about the
evolved
size of a
into a
chihuahua,
tiger?
making this 1.3 meter, 20 kilo kangaroo dog with a tiger persona the only marsupial apex predator. See, these things were ambush hunters, using stealth and speed to silently take down their prey like they're playing Assassin's Creed.
Now that I see
On top
it,
of being
I
a
can't unsee
fully
it.
qualified Spec Ops agent,
just looks like
these
a
things had a
kangaroo
mouth
walking on
on
all
them to rival
fours.
Kirby. Capable
that's a
of
big
opening
mouth.
their jaw a full 80 fucking degrees, which is absolutely terrifying and really cool. There's just one small problem. You may have picked up on me talking mostly in the past tense, and that all
Wait.
of this footage is in black and white.
Wait,
That's because we don't have a tiger.
no.
We had one. Unfortunately, the thylacine was driven to extinction in the late 1980s. By what exactly? The British. You see, when the Brits, did their thing and decided Tasmania was their house now, actually, they brought with them livestock, namely sheep and cattle, which was a fucking blessing to the Tassie tiger, which rapidly added these walking meatballs with the survival instincts of a wet sock to their meal plans. It's free real estate. The colonists did not take kindly to the thylacine taking their livestock without a license in it, so they placed bounties on their heads. Never mind that these things never attacked humans and very rarely
make some
took their livestock.
sacrificial
No, they were an
cows.
inconvenience. And so, they were hunted down.
No.
One by one by one. For
Bro, I hate
70
humans.
fucking
Why would you
years.
do this?
Until September 7th, 1936, when the last thylacine, Benjamin, died cold and alone in a cage at the Hobart Zoo. Usually I'd end these with a joke, but the fact that we wiped his entire bloodline and turned him into a fucking rug isn't that funny.
And you know what the crazy thing is? You know what the crazy thing is? Pretty soon, they're probably gonna be doing. They're at some point they're gonna want to bring them back, right? It's like you destroy everything, and then you're gonna be like, "Oh, we can make our own for the zoos." It's just so sad. Like I don't understand. I don't understand, man. That's so sad. I thought I was gonna see
Australia
cool
just found a
tigers.
new record-breaking insect. But
Why is
before
it
I
so
show him to you,
long?
how the do we keep finding new bugs? You see, Australia is home to an estimated 200,000 species of insect, which is pretty damn impressive, especially when you consider the only place you're going to find more bugs than that is by counting the fucking roach population in Asmongold's walls. Now, the scary part of this is that out of that 200k, we've only actually identified 62,000, meaning that we have no idea what nearly
Do you know how comfortable a roach has to be to climb on you with the lights on? Do you know how comfortable? Do you know how comfortable? Like generations. That is crazy.
62,000, meaning that we have no idea what nearly 3/4 of the bugs in the country actually fucking do.
You like jazz?
And so it should come as no surprise that while exploring Australia's dense rainforests, 2 scientists discovered a new record holder for the largest insect in the land down under.
Please don't be a walking
and
stick.
it's a fucking
Please.
stick bug.
Why?
Introducing Acrophila alta, and coming in at a full 40 centimeters and 44
Have
grams
walking
in weight.
stick PTSD.
I don't think that qualifies as a stick insect anymore. That's fucking Groot. Australia's very own Erd tree avatar was discovered in Queensland. Because of course it fucking was. And despite being enough inches in length to make any man jealous, it's actually completely harmless. However, given how many oversized bugs we already have, if we find any more, I think they're gonna send the fucking Helldivers.
I can't. Okay, back to the story of when I worked at a zoo and I was a insect a herps keeper, which are reptiles and reptiles, amphibians, and insects. They had me take care of walking sticks, and I didn't know what a walking stick was. Okay, so I was cleaning the enclosure, and you have to take it out, and I'm just pulling all of these sticks out around me. I'm like sitting on the floor, taking everything out. Taking everything out. I have sticks around me and they're bugs. They're bugs. I can't. I don't know what it is. I like even spiders can be cute, but like I don't know. But fun fact, they do need a little bit of high humidity, and you have to mist them. Same with like with the flying cockroaches. I'm gonna have nightmares tonight. I'm for sure. If you are a walking stick and you're watching this, no, I love you, but I can't look at you. I love you, but I can't look at you.